And the World Cup starts today, so we are going to be doing something we only get to do once every 4 years, and that is predict the entire competition. Well, I say predict, we all know I really do mean spoil. I wish. But before we do that, please make sure you do like and subscribe. It helps me more than you may know. And let me know in the comments who you think is going to win the competition and who you think the biggest flop of the entire competition is going to be. Let's get right into it. So we're going to be starting off with Group A, which is obviously Mexico, Korea, Czech and South Africa. I won't lie, I don't think South Africa are going to do very well, so I do think they are going to finish bottom of the group. I think it's between Mexico and Czech for me who's going to top the group. I think Mexico, just on home soil, will be able to get the job done. I think South Korea will then be third and South Africa obviously fourth. Rolling on then to Group B, we've got Switzerland, Canada, Qatar and Bosnia. Now I must say, I am not overly excited to watch any of these games.
Boring!
But I think Switzerland will comfortably top the group, in all honesty. I don't think Canada, Qatar or Bosnia, I don't think any of them are particularly good, to be honest. So I think I'm going to go Canada second, Bosnia third and Qatar fourth. I must say I don't really know much about the Qatar national team. Now on to Group C, we've got Brazil, Morocco, Scotland and Haiti. Now I must say, a little bit of a spoiler for what's going to happen later in the video. I don't think Brazil are going to do overly well this competition.
Oh my god! Wow!
I think for their standards, they are going to struggle just that little bit. I do think they will have enough to top the group. I think it is a coin flip between them and Morocco. Morocco could quite easily finish above Brazil, in my opinion. And I think Scotland have way more than Haiti. I'll be gobsmacked if Haiti even score a goal. So that is Group C wrap. Now on to Group D. We've got USA, Turkey, Australia and Paraguay. I think Turkey comfortably top that group, in all honesty. I think that is another quite a weak group, to be honest. Then USA, Australia, Paraguay. I think Paraguay can get the job done to finish second, USA third, and Australia fourth. I feel like that's quite a good one. And now on to Group E, we've got Germany, Ecuador, Ivory Coast, and Curacao. I think Germany comfortably top that one once again. I think it'll be close, to be honest, between them and Ecuador. I think Ecuador are very good defensively, if I remember correctly. So I think they could be doing really well, to be honest. And I think Ivory Coast will have way more than Curacao. So I think, I'm really happy with that order, to be honest. I think that is how that group's going to go. Now on to Group F, we've got Netherlands, Japan, Sweden and Tunisia. And I think this one is probably one of the hardest groups to predict. The Netherlands, I don't think, are going to have this groundbreaking tournament that people think they're going to have. Japan, I've seen loads of people say that Japan are their dark horse. Whilst Japan are good, I don't think they're that good. And then obviously Sweden are Sweden. I think they're under Graham Potter, aren't I? I think any team under Graham Potter isn't going to be excellent. And then obviously Tunisia. And to be honest, I don't really know much about Tunisia. I don't think they're bad, but I don't think they're incredible. So it's going to be a really hard group to predict. I think I'm going to go Netherlands to top the group. Then Japan, then Sweden, then Tunisia. I don't know. I do think the Netherlands probably do have enough to top their group, in all honesty. I think it'll be between them and maybe that. But I'm going to go that. I think Japan could quite easily finish above the Netherlands. Now on to Group G. We've got Belgium, Iran, Egypt and New Zealand. And I cannot wait to watch Belgium actually play this World Cup. I think Doku is going to have an incredible tournament. That is who is on the back of this jersey. So I really do think he's going to have a fantastic World Cup. And then you've got Iran, Egypt and New Zealand. I think Egypt are the second best team in that group. So I do think they will finish second. Then it's between Iran and New Zealand. And I must say, I have absolutely no idea. I don't know anything about either team. I'm going to go New Zealand to finish above Iran. Yeah. Then on to Group H, we've got Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia and Cape Verde. Spain are one of my favourites to win this whole thing, as you'll see later in the video. So I think they'll top the group. I think Uruguay will comfortably be second, to be honest. And then Saudi Arabia and Cape Verde, I think they were in the exact order in which we get given them, to be honest. Then on to Group I, we've got France, Senegal, Norway and Iraq. And I think this is the best group to watch, in all honesty. I think this will be the most exciting group to watch. And I'm really looking forward to seeing Norway play, to be honest. Obviously, they've got Haaland. And they've been good to watch. They've battered a good few teams. Granted, they haven't always been of the highest quality, but they've still got to score the goals. But I do think France will top the group. I think Norway will come second, to be honest, and then Senegal, and then Iraq. I'd be surprised if Iraq even get a goal in that group, in all honesty. Then on to Group J, we've got Argentina, Austria, Algeria, and Jordan. Well, the current reigning champions, I think, will top their group. Then it's between Austria and Algeria, and I think that is really close again. Probably a coin flip between who's going to finish above who, but I'm going to go Austria and then Algeria, and then Jordan. once again, I'll be surprised if they score a goal. Then on to Group K, we've got Portugal, Colombia, the Congo, and Uzbekistan. Now, Portugal, I do think will finish top and Colombia second. However, I do think that is once again a really close one where Colombia, I think, are quite defensively solid. So it is a coin flip between them two. I just think Portugal might finish above them on goal difference purely because they might score more against the Congo and Uzbekistan. I think their game probably will end a draw, to be honest. So I imagine it will come down to goal difference. Because I do think they both will beat the Congo and Uzbekistan. And I think Uzbekistan do beat the Congo. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is in. Then last but not least, we've got Group L, and it's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. Right, okay. Let's calm it just a little bit. I do think we have more than enough to top this group, though. I must say, I think we are probably the most defensively solid team in the entire competition. And under Tuchel, I did actually expect us to go really, really far, maybe even make the final in this competition. I'll see how it actually pans out in the brackets as we go through it, because I've not actually done any prep for this video. But yeah, then it's Croatia, Panama, and Ghana. Or Croatia and Ghana. I think Panama have finished bottom of the group. But Croatia and Ghana. Ghana are quite a good outfit, aren't they? But they didn't make the AFCON final, actually. So I'm going to go Croatia above Ghana. And then Panama, yeah. Now we have to pick the best third place teams as who's going through extra. And I think Senegal will comfortably go through. I think Sweden will comfortably go through. I think Ghana will comfortably go through. I think the USA will get through. I think South Korea are going to get through. I think Scotland will probably get through. And now we need 2 more out of these guys. I think Algeria will probably have enough. Then Saudi Arabia, Bosnia, Uzbekistan and New Zealand. I'm between Ivory Coast and Saudi Arabia, but I think I'm going to go Ivory Coast, to be honest. I think that is the way it's going to go. Now onto the brackets. Okay, now onto the round of 32. We've got Germany, USA, France and Sweden. I think Germany will beat the USA and I think France will comfortably beat Sweden. That's quite an easy one to do, in my opinion. Okay, and then on to the next one. We've got Czech, Canada, and then the Netherlands and Morocco. I think the Czech will have more than Canada. I do. I think the Czech will have quite a good competition, to be honest. And I think Morocco will have more than the Netherlands. I really do. I think the Czech will have... I think the Moroccans will have more than the Netherlands, to be honest. On to the next two. We've got Colombia, Croatia, Spain, and Australia. Well, I think Spain, as I said earlier, one of the favourites to win the whole thing. Colombia and Croatia. I think Croatia will just have enough. That is a coin flip, to be honest. I think either one of them could go through. I think Spain will probably beat either of them anyway, but you'll have to wait and find out. Then you've got Turkey, Ivory Coast, and Belgium and South Korea. Well, I think Turkey have more than Ivory Coast, in all honesty. I think Belgium have more than South Korea. I think that's another nice one, to be honest. Then you've got Brazil, Japan, and Ecuador and Norway. Now, these ones could actually throw a spanner in the works. And to be honest, Japan probably do have enough to get through Brazil from what I think Brazil are actually going to do, but I can't not. If I look back on my predictions and I see that I didn't pick Brazil in this point and Brazil do what I expect them to do, I'd be really frustrated myself. So I'm going to go Brazil, then Ecuador, Norway. I think Norway will win that. I really do. I think Norway are going to have a great competition. I really do. I think, honestly, I think Norway's performance in this competition could actually put Haaland in the Ballon d'Or conversation. Maybe not win the Ballon d'Or, but definitely in the Ballon d'Or conversation for leading his team in the World Cup. Then on to the next two, you've got Mexico, Scotland, and England and Senegal. Well, it's coming home in it, boys. So we're putting England to beat Senegal. I think, to be honest, I do actually think we will beat them. I think that'd be a really tough game to watch. Because I do. And Mexico and Scotland, I think Mexico have enough to beat Scotland, especially in Mexico City. So I really hope the Mexico City Stadium's in Mexico City. I probably should have checked that, but oh, hey ho, you can all laugh at me in the comments if not. Then on to the next ones, you've got Argentina, Uruguay, and then Paraguay and Egypt. I thought I said Uruguay and Paraguay mixed up then. Too many Uruguays. Right, Argentina, the reigning champions, I think will beat Uruguay. I think that is a really close game, and probably could go either way. Then you've got Paraguay and Egypt. I'm not overly impressed by Egypt, to be honest. I won't lie, going up against Argentina, I don't really think it matters. I'm going to go Paraguay. I really haven't been impressed by Egypt, to be honest. I know they've got like Marmoush and Salah and stuff, but they did not impress me during AFCON whatsoever, so I think that's what I'm going to do. And then last but not least, we've got Switzerland, Algeria, and Portugal and Ghana. Well, I think the Swiss have more than the Algerians, so I'm going to go that. And then Portugal and Ghana. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Ghana did get the better of Portugal, but with João Neves and Vitinha and Bruno Fernandes in that midfield, I just have to go for Portugal. I'd be a fool if I didn't. Okay, it's now time for the round of 16, and we've got Germany, France, and Czech and Morocco. Well, I think Morocco have way more than the Czech Republic, so I'm going to put them in. Then you've got Germany, France. I think the Germans will have a decent competition. I think they'll look like a good outfit, but I just don't think there'll be any match for the French. I think the French will get the job done. Up next, we've got Croatia, Spain, and Turkey, Belgium. I won't lie, I think the Spain will absolutely dispatch the Croatians in that game. If that is the way it falls, then you've got Turkey, Belgium, and I think the Belgians will do it. I think Turkey will be a great outfit. I think Doku's going to have an incredible tournament. I think he'll rack up gallons of assists, maybe even find himself a few goals, especially if he's still in the form he was, which he ended the season in. So there's no reason why he can't do that. And now it's time for the three lions. We've got Brazil, Norway, Mexico. It's coming. Right, okay. Let's calm it just a little bit. Brazil, Norway. I honestly think Norway will win. I really do. I think Brazil are going to be such a disappointing outfit this tournament, I must say. And I think Norway are going to be just a really exciting outfit this tournament, so I am going to go there. And I do think we will have more than enough to beat Mexico. I don't think Mexico will be any sort of match for us, to be honest, as rude as that may be.
Ooh, you're hard, showing off.
And now it's time for the next ones. We've got Argentina, Paraguay, and Switzerland, Portugal. And as you can already see, I'm going Argentina. I think they'll comfortably dispatch Paraguay. And then we've got Switzerland, Portugal. And I think the Portuguese will have more than the Swiss. I think the Ghana game will be harder than the Swiss game, to be honest, as weird as that may seem for Portugal. So I think they will comfortably get that done. And now it's time for the quarterfinals. We've got France v Morocco. And I think the French will have enough. I think the Moroccans are going to be very hard to beat, though. And it would not surprise me if the Moroccans are able to get the better of the French. But I just think the firepower that they have up front is frightening, and I think they will have more than enough to get the job done. Then we've got Spain, Belgium, and I do think Spain will comfortably get that done. I don't think Spain are going to struggle really until they get to the final. Whoever that may be, we'll find out in a minute. But yeah, I think Spain will beat the Belgians. I think the Belgians will give it a good go, but I just think they won't have enough for the Spanish, to be honest. Then we've got Norway and England. Now this will be the hardest test I think England are going to face, but that makes sense. Obviously, you're the furthest point of the competition, but I really do think this Norwegian outfit is going to be really, really good. But I just think under Tuchel, we are going to be that defensively solid that it doesn't really matter until we get to like the elite of the elite. So I know they've got Haaland, but outside of that, they aren't like tippy top tier. So I do think we will get past the Norwegians. I think it'll be very close, but I do think we will have just enough to get through it. And then Argentina, Portugal, Messi v Ronaldo. And that is sort of, I know a lot of people right now would want Portugal to lose, obviously just to get the laughing at Ronaldo. But me personally, I think Argentina will get the better of Portugal. I think Argentina are a better fit than Portugal, in all honesty. And it'll be very interesting to see how Portugal do this World Cup, obviously, because they are taking Ronaldo. Is Ronaldo going to start? Is he going to be on the bench? But Ronaldo isn't a bench player, and if he does go on the bench, is he going to settle to that role? I know when he's been subbed off before, he's stood basically next to the manager directing the team, but he isn't the manager, so how is that dynamic going to work? I think that'll be very interesting to see. Now, for our first semi-final game, we've got France v Spain. Now, some would say this is the final, but we'll see who they get in the final. You've got France and Spain, and I do think the Spanish are better than the French. I honestly do. I think the Spanish will get to the final quite comfortably this competition. I just think their midfield, their attack, the defence, I think all round it's quite solid. It'll be very interesting to see if David Raya starts in there. Obviously, I think he is the third choice Spanish goalkeeper for some reason, which makes absolutely no sense, but that's just the way it falls, I think. And then it's coming home. It's coming. Okay. Argentina and England. I honestly think we could probably get knocked out there. But under Tuchel, I did think we'd make the final, or at least the semi-final. So I thought we'd get to at least this stage. And against Argentina, I think we do have enough to beat them, but I don't know how convinced I'll be right now. Obviously, we've finished the two friendly games and we weren't the most convincing thing in the world. But Argentina haven't been the most convincing either. I honestly think we do have enough. I think the midfield of Rice, Anderson and Bellingham is enough to overrun the Argentinian midfield. It's just whether Messi has that kind of tournament and if he is still the player that he was 4 years ago that is able to sort of dictate the play still. I think he is. But I do think we have enough to beat Argentina. I really do. Call me biased all you want. I actually do think we are better than Argentina. I think we do have enough to beat Argentina. I know they are the defending world champions, but let a man dream, man. And now for the big one, the 2026 World Cup winner. It's Spain or England. Who's it going to be? Is football coming home for the first time in 60 years? I mean, they beat us in the Euros final not too long ago, didn't they? I don't think we have enough to beat the Spanish. I really don't. I do think Spain are going to win it. Oh, it's going to be heartbreak if we make a World Cup final and don't win. That is going to be absolutely heartbreaking. I'd go into it with full faith we can win, but right now, without watching us play, without watching gallons and gallons of the Spanish, I do think they are just a better outfit than us, but football isn't coming on. Okay, well, that's it. That's the predictions. Let me know what you think. Let me know how close you were to getting what I got. And please remember, I know I said it's a spoiler, but they are just predictions. Please don't harm me too much in the comments. As I say, please make sure you do like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.